crack open a bottle and get ready to jingle your bells because we are dropping yet another Yule log of an episode of your favorite podcast of laughter, learning, and libations here at Vino Volley. I am your jolly yet not rotund co-host Ryan Rebecki, and with me driving this sleigh to the finish line is the one and only Michael Wall. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Excellent.
How are you?
Oh, I am overcome by the holiday season. It's what a time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And we're going to get 3.5 inches of rain over the next 24 hours.
Yeah. but global warming's a myth, as they say. You know?
I wish we were getting knuckled with snow, but we're not.
We had one day where it was beautiful. You woke up, snow was on the trees, and then by late afternoon it had all melted away. And that's all I want. I just want to wake up in a white Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't want... We live in New England for a reason. Like, the beauty of Christmas. I don't want, 56, 60 degrees and raining.
No. And that's been weather talk here at Vino Volley. So we had turkey talk, weather talk, and now... but 'tis the season. And we're getting into not only the holiday season, but a time of the year which soccer is coming to us much
Hard
like
and
Dom Toretto, fast and furious. Remember, family is everything. And we're getting at least 2 games a week, and then around and post-Christmas, we're getting every couple days.
Yeah,
every 3-4 days.
Every 3 to 4 days.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, so Liverpool just played in the Champions League, so we'll talk about that briefly when we kind of get to the housekeeping items. But yeah, it's fast and furious, as you did say. And
They played not yours, but my Girona. There we go. Mike, I am not prepared for this episode. I already apologized to you.
Although, for our listeners, Rye did not have an intro prepared and really came up with that in the last 30, 45 seconds.
That's
so
right.
I think that's
It's a beautiful mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yes.
I can't do math. I can't see at night. But you know what? If you need a quip off the top of my head, I'm your man.
I love it.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, I've been enjoying this time of year as always. I like to keep it tight,
Oh yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
To enjoy it, so those 25 days are just pure magic, just thrown on the pentatonics.
Oh.
Just
Freaking
acapella
love
city,
it.
just feeling in my plums
So good.
and
Sugar
yeah,
plums.
sugar plums. So just enjoying it. Happy to be here, and it's a couple housekeeping items. Not really housekeeping items, but more just what's been going on since
What's
last
in the
we spoke.
news?
Things that has been. The high of the city win for sure.
Yep.
That was not only, and again, it's a down and out city side. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They're battling they've got some injuries, but for us it was a huge milestone win, comfortable win. And I think we had talked about this on episodes past when the Ballon d'Or came out.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever wanted to know why Rodri deserve the Ballon d'Or, is to see how City have started to crumble without him being that lock in the midfield.
Right.
Now, Vinny was out for a little bit for Real Madrid, and in La Liga at least, they just kept on ticking.
Right.
They haven't bought, so it's just you talk about the importance. Without Rodri really securing that midfield, they've been a shadow of themselves. But hey, we're going to capitalize, and I thought it was great that Liverpool fans were chanting "You'll be sacked" in the morning to Pep Guardiola. Obviously tongue-in-cheek, because he's not going to get fired.
No. So even though they are down, I'll tell you what they're up in. That is allegations, because I believe the closing arguments ended. They went from 115 to 130, I believe.
Yeah, there's still a part of me that's going to be like, hey, thanks for all the information. Not guilty on all counts.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's moving. It's moving in a direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be shocked if the hammer actually falls.
Right.
But anyway, and then kind of talking back to the Liverpool game, Pep showing the fans how many Premier Leagues he's won in a row. I thought very Mourinho-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Just showing that they were getting to him and getting. But I mean, I thought it was great. A little,
Yeah,
again,
the game
tongue-in-cheek back in-
needs it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
there's nothing wrong with that.
And then, obviously the high of the Man City game comes with the low of the Newcastle game. Again, a draw is not the worst thing. I think the positives are it's Newcastle away is a hard place to play. There are plenty of other top teams that have dropped points,
Right.
although Pat did try and, loves to always poke the bear and joke that. I mean, West Ham won there, so I may have retorted a little bit aggressively, telling him that, like, no one wins trophies for just winning away at Newcastle.
Right.
It was a bit harsh. I did apologize, but he caught me.
You're a very passionate
He
person.
caught me in a vulnerable state, but he knows it's all in good fun. But yeah, I think just Kelleher was a small blip on a very good time in goal. I think one of the best things you could say is that since Kelleher's been in, you haven't missed Allison,
Right.
which is like saying a lot. So again, should he have caught the ball or made more of a play at it? Yes.
Yeah.
But here we are. The weekend has passed. The Merseyside Derby was postponed due to weather.
Yeah, that was kind of a kick in the dick when I woke up at 7:15. I was like, okay, I gotta get up. I gotta watch the game, and I was like,
Yeah. No.
where is it?
Same boat. I knew there was a chance, but I was like, oh, they're gonna call it at like 8 a.m. their time. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna know. But I think it was a blessing in disguise because now McAllister won't be around for the Fulham game. He'll be back for when the rescheduled Merseyside Derby.
Okay.
I think it was a good break because obviously this is the last time that Liverpool are going to play at Goodison Park before it's retired. So I think there was a lot of emotion from an Evertonian perspective.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, coming off the back of a tie with Newcastle, just could have added a little bit more pressure. So I think moving it, giving it some space, and then besides Chelsea winning because Tottenham absolutely took a fucking dump
They're so
all over themselves, just like literally
it's like
just shit.
Yeah, it's like
all
what side of the bed do
over
they wake up
themselves.
on? They're just like, I guess we'll win
Dude,
this
even
one.
the announcers during the game were talking about like, oh, this is such a Spursy performance. Like,
Yeah.
how embarrassing is that going to be? You're up 2-0 and you end up getting spanked 4-2.
Yeah, they went full Tottenham.
Yeah. So besides that, Arsenal dropped points. City dropped points again.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really like best case scenario from a Liverpool perspective. But so yeah.
Alas.
Alas, we are still in it. It's a great time. All aboard the slot machine. Woot woot.
Train noise. Haven't touched them yet.
You'll get there.
Oh, I don't know.
There's always next year. They ain't going anywhere
Oh, no.
because they don't work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mike, what are we in for tonight?
Well, we're in for a special treat.
Yeah, we are.
We're back in the white, which we'll talk about shortly. But real quick, I do want to make note of our social media outlets. VinoVolley85 is our Instagram. VinoVolley85@gmail.com is our email, and we do have a write-in. Someone remembers that email address. Juan.
Yeah, Juan.
Appreciate it. We're gonna get to that email when we do the most punchable face. So thank you. And then our website, vinovolley85.wixsite.com/vinovolley. So before Ryan tells us the wine we're drinking and we kind of get into it, I think it's time we just say to all our Vino Volleyers out there, it is time to pop those corks, indulge in a healthy pour, and dive stud showing into today's episode. So Ryan,
Yes.
what are we going to be drinking today?
Well, a little change of pace. It's been a while, but we were gently coerced by our friends at the Vin Bin to try another white wine. And when we went and purchased our new re-upped bottles, I believe you were next to Aaron, who was helping us out. And he's like, "Oh, hey, here's a white that is super unique. You guys have tried." I was kind of off in the distance. He's like, "Yeah, it's called Big Salt." And I perked up. I'm like, "That sounds good."
I was like, I don't even think I heard you say it. I just saw your eyes. I was just like, all right, well, we're going to put this one in here.
It just feels right. And yeah, we're back in the world of white wine. This is a West Coast Oregon white wine from Ovum Vineyards. Or Ovum Wines, sorry. It's my bad. Shall I?
You shall.
Are you going to explain how this ties into the topic?
Well, you need to read the wine and
Yeah, I do.
yeah.
That's right.
Right, we've done this
It's only
before.
episode, what, 28?
This is 29.
29.
Yeah, not a numbers guy.
Not a numbers guy. What we are consuming tonight is called Big Salt. It is from Ovum Wines, who has a fucking awesome logo. It's the outline of a steer head, but within the blacked out steer head, it's a fucking scorpion.
That is pretty badass.
It's sick. We're going to have to like screenshot this and post this up because that's pretty sweet. Anyway, Big Salt, all caps, trademark, is a white wine that tries to capture a day at the beach in a bottle. So far, so good.
Just like, I think I can see your heart on.
I'm wearing gray sweatpants.
Yeah,
It's the ultimate seasonal tease. Yeah,
It's on the table.
yeah. Fresh, dry, breezy. The bright aromas of the wine are met with a dry, almost salty textured palate that's well suited for sitting in the sun and hanging with friends.
Well, we got half of that today.
That's true. Sustainable and organic vineyards throughout Oregon are the building blocks for Big Salt. Now, I'm getting this from the Ovum website, and there are two quotes here from wine connoisseurs.
Hit them.
First one is from Wine Enthusiast. Quote unquote, "It's hard to imagine a better Oregon white at this price." Okay. Like that. "This is the exact sort of white winemaking the West Coast could use more." That was from Punch Drunk. So, two very promising. Coming in at this price point, what did we pay, or what's the sticker on that bottle?
$24.99.
$24.99. So, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Right in your Yankee swap, usually that's your price point, is I think like a $25 range. So
Yeah, I would say so. It's a solid, because you're not going to be like, oh, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, quality move there. Yeah, and online, just a quick search. It's all right around that price. So I'm excited about this.
I know it really is speaking to you and just that salt life. So
Salt,
I'm excited
yeah.
for you. I'm hoping that we get away from the whole Catching Venus, that white wine,
Yeah.
and we really dive into something
Yeah.
we like that kind of takes us more down the rosé path that we were pleasantly surprised about.
Yes.
But the big thing about this wine and how it ties to the topic is the soil in which this,
Is grown in?
the grapes.
Yes.
I was like, I literally was just like, wait, what is it used
Is
in?
it on it?
The grapes, the thing that makes wine, it grows in
Are they
soil.
are they underground?
So that is the soil they are referring to. It is grown in ancient ocean and volcanic soil.
Yeah, I love that.
So-
Geology.
Yeah. Boy, that was a real...
Not your finest moment.
No.
But
So good.
as 2004 Howie Day once said, even the best fall down sometimes.
You're lucky we don't do the Mike Wall Honesty Hour, because those years cannot be accurate.
I think it's accurate.
2004?
Yeah. You keep
Okay,
keep going.
Anyway, so what we wanted to talk about is we wanted to bring a list of players that, were kind of burst onto the scene like an erupting volcano, and then, like so many volcanoes...
Fuck 2003.
So close. Like so many volcanoes, have gone dormant. Because I think there's, in today's game... Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what you're gonna say.
In today's game, we are too quick to be like, this person's the next this.
Oh, I thought you were
This-
gonna make an assumption about like how many dormant volcanoes there were, or active volcanoes. I was like, dude,
No.
I don't know if you want to do that. That's a number. That's a number you don't want to mess with
I don't. Why would you even think I'd be even close to knowing that?
because you're a smart, intelligent person.
No, I'm not that smart. Not that smart. I literally just couldn't figure out how soil pertains to fucking wine.
They
Yeah.
grow on a tree.
I think I've been drinking too much. But anyway, so we wanted to talk about those players that, again, burst on the scene and become, now dormant. Because, again, I think we are very much... I hate this person's going to be the next this person's going to be the next that. Because when you're referring to the players you think they're going to be the next one, those were players that were the best at their game for not years, decades.
Correct.
So it's like, I really don't think you can, again, it's supposed to be flashy. I don't think you can say that until the end of their career and just be like, yeah, like, let's go side by side. Because we talk about, there was, I think it was one of Carragher's podcasts, but essentially they were talking the all-time Premier League team. And there was a woman on it who was great, and she basically was saying that your all-time team now on the right-hand side is Mo Salah.
Yeah.
And so that, then, so it's this kind of like, it's an open forum. There's fans, and some people are throwing out, someone threw out Saka, which was just like fucking asinine.
The answer sounds like a sack of shit.
It does. Ooh, that was a good one. I like that
I'm
one.
really firing on all cylinders.
But so first one, a Man United fan threw out Ronaldo, and the retort, the response was, well, if you look at based on the longevity, the consistency that he's had for his time in the Premier League, he surpasses Ronaldo. Now, obviously, we know Ronaldo's accolades. Yes. Accolades.
Yeah, you got it.
But those were mostly Real Madrid and so on. Then they're talking about David Beckham and
Go on.
like his
Gray
right,
sweatpants.
his ability like as a facilitator. And so they were talking about how she's basically like he's 5 assists away from breaking David Beckham's record.
Yeah.
He's now, I think, only 2 goals away from breaking Thierry Henry's goal scoring record.
Big
So
DTT.
it's just, again, you talk about like it takes longevity.
Yeah.
Like now you can take all of that and look back and be like, he is the greatest winger
Yes.
in the Premier League.
Right.
So we're gonna, it's a sliding scale of how many we each have. We were supposed to each have 3 with an honorable mention. Some have more than others.
Yes.
I'll hopefully can try and pick up the slack. But yeah, that's
you.
where we're gonna go. But before we do that, let's get into Big Salt and see what we're in for.
I'm excited. Oh, that was a good tingy. Ooh, fresh on the nose.
I'm just gonna rip a tissue right now and blow my nose so I can really get in and huff this thing.
Like, I wish I liked white wine more. Because the smell of it's really good. Like, I enjoy the smell of white wine.
I mean, maybe we just haven't found the one we like.
It's like true love, you just know. Should have a running tally of, like, Ryanisms tonight, because... What do you got?
I thought my glass was crooked, but maybe it's fucking...
You shit-faced.
Nice stroke. I think I'm stroking out.
It's like a nice golden
Yeah, it is nice. A little effervescent.
Yeah, a little bubbly.
Mild on the nose. I don't know what I'm picking up.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's nice.
Like the little bit of like
Little
carbonation,
yeah.
Minerality. I get like the brininess. It doesn't taste like salt, but like I get. It's still like, I feel like most white wines aren't warm like on the way down. I get like a warm sensation, as if you were like drinking a red wine, like the after, not a burn, but.
No, especially since I chilled it. You wouldn't, it's not, it's definitely being served cold. It's nice though. It's very mild on the palate, well balanced,
Yeah.
easy drinking. And again, it's not like it's ice cold, like, so it's kind of taking away. Like, you can still taste the nuances. I'm trying to figure out this.
It has like super, 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 super subtle green apple.
Okay.
Like just a little. I'm picking up on like a little bit of apple.
I can definitely get the what they're talking about, that little saltiness at the end.
Yeah.
There's something on the nose though that I'm like, it's familiar. I don't know, I can't remember the last time I've taken a whiff of a Granny Smith apple.
Peach, lime, touch of sea salt, aromatic bouquet of citrus and tropical fruits, notes of lemon zest, green apple. Yeah, I'm getting better. Hint of saline minerality, fresh herbs. On the palate, delivers refreshing blend of flavors, including juicy peach, lime. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
And a touch of sea salt.
Does it say taco meat in there at all?
It.
That might actually, that just might be my lunch coming up from in between.
I was gonna say, you got something to go. You've been like
Yeah, I
This thing's gurgling over there.
yeah,
Even got agita?
I just may have ripped one, and it's now tainted the smell.
No, I should have gone to this website. Pairs wonderfully with a variety of dishes such as seafood, sushi, spicy Asian cuisine, and fresh salads. Go-to for appetizers, refreshing after a meal, just to quench your thirst after a warm day. Like, this is definitely a wine that I could like gas at like a seaside BYOB.
Look how much is left already.
I know.
I get a little bit of that citrusy tart lime with the peach, green apple, and that little bit of salt. It's it's going down pretty easy. So
Good slam about a dozen oysters right now.
So yeah,
Telling you. I know you won't do them, but like oysters, beachside, like bar and grill, side of French fries.
yeah, French fries is fine. You also
And then
know
you
I'm
take the
not
French fries, you dip the French fries in the tartar sauce. That's the play.
I have no problem with tartar sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, I might try a clam strip. Maybe.
I mean, that's not even.
Oh.
I mean, they're great, but like a raw oyster, something very primal about it.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Hey, to each their own, you know?
I'm also not a big beach person.
There's an ass for every face.
Well, now that we've gotten into the wine, I think it's time to get into our players.
Yes.
Some more than others again, but it's okay. This is a podcast built on love,
That is true.
and so we look past some of the
Some of our shortcomings.
some of the shortcomings.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't hold up to my end of the bargain on this one.
that's fine. I have a list. Some are what I think might be agreed upon, like industry-wide. Some that are more personal in nature, but happy to share. And since I think I have more, would you like me to go first?
Yes, you do the first.
So my first one, and this is purely from a personal perspective, a Liverpool perspective, was none other than the little magician, Coutinho. Philippe Coutinho.
Yeah.
So, again, when he was bought, it took a little bit under Brendan Rodgers to really come into his own. But man, when he did, you just knew what he was going to do, and you couldn't stop it. He was going to get the ball somewhere outside the box. He was going to quickly cut it onto his right foot. It was the same move every time, but damn if you could stop it. And then he was going to rifle an absolute piss missile into the top corners.
Yeah.
Not only would he do that, but he would do it in times where it wasn't like we were up 3-0 and like this was just a banger for fun. This was like a dead ball free kick situation. We're down 1-0 or we're tied, and he would put this team on his back and score an absolute screamer.
Yeah.
Okay,
He was so exciting and electric to watch.
He was, and in the eyes of, I don't think just Liverpool, like everybody knew his quality, but what he became for Liverpool, the way he really exploded and was able, once he found like that accuracy, like again, it took him a little bit, but absolutely erupted and was a talisman goal scorer for Liverpool. And when it was time, he had a decision to make, and Klopp, in true honesty, was just like, if you stay here, they will build statues for you.
Yeah.
He's like, if you leave, you go to any other team, you'll just be another player. And again, part of it, it's a business. Everybody has big dreams of playing for the giants of Spain, the Barcelona, the Real Madrid. So there's part of me that I don't have animosity for him, but I think it was just the wrong choice because he went to Barcelona, again, became just another player. It was at a time where the coach, the playing style, it just wasn't working out. And so he didn't really shine at Barcelona, was then loaned to Bayern Munich, and again, won a Champions League with them or a Bundesliga title with them, but wasn't really like what you consider.
Yeah,
like,
wasn't a main character.
No, he was just like, along for the ride, and then eventually sold to Aston Villa, under Gerrard kind of hoping that Liverpool magic. There was dreams that he was going to score a banger against Manchester City at the end of the season to
Yeah.
give Liverpool that title. And that didn't even work out because Gerrard left, and then Unai Emery didn't have a place for him, and now he's back.
You know who else was on that Villa team?
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings.
And now he's back playing in Brazil. So again, a guy
Damn.
who just like, if you like look at his Liverpool goal highlight, they're all
Unreal.
fucking bangers.
Yeah.
Like just an absolute fiery eruption, and
Yep.
then
He was one of those players where, like, he would get the ball and you knew something amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the potential and the chance of something amazing happening was
they
very,
showed like
very high.
the sports science behind like the speed and the dip he generated. I think
Yeah.
there was one with Southampton, and it was a free kick situation. And I mean, he was far out
Yeah.
and would like dipped right below the crossbar and just bam right down.
Yeah.
He was something special, and that one again was a personal one. But I thought he had this stuff to be something special,
Yeah.
and I think if he had stayed with Liverpool, he would have been. But
Yeah.
hey,
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I think Barcelona was kind of a piece of shit. Was because it was during the season. Obviously, it facilitated the purchase of Virgil van Dijk and Allison. So in the grand scheme of things, like
Yeah.
it all worked out. But they were basically being like, "Hey, this is the last time. If you don't get to leave Liverpool, we're never coming back for you." And again, he was young. He was, early to mid 20s at
Yeah.
the time. Like, what do you don't know? Like, and this is your dream club, and they're telling you this is the last time. So, again, I don't truly hate him for it. It was sad, but I think if he stayed at Liverpool,
Would have been something
it would have
special.
been something special.
Even more than it already was.
Correct. So yeah, that's my
It's a great
that's my
first pick.
first
The Little
The
Magician.
Little Magician.
My first pick should come as no surprise. I'm going to say he's a friend of the show. And that, of course, is the commonly referenced and mentioned Freddie Adu. What was supposed to be the 14-year-old, at the time, the youngest starting player for an MLS team for DC United in 2004. It has since been surpassed by that kid, Cavan something,
Sure.
who's...
Yeah, it's MLS.
What 14-year-old has any business playing on a professional sports team is beyond me. Because, like, what if a full-grown man just goes through that? That sounds terrible. Okay, rephrase.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Can
phrase
they
it.
hold up to the physicality of a adult professional sport game? Sport game.
This is a good one. Yeah. No, I mean,
So back to our friend Freddie Adu.
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. We were always told, like, oh, hey, there's this kid, Freddie Adu. He's the youngest. He's going to be, like, the next Pele. Like, he could be the biggest thing in United States soccer to come about. Like, he could be, like, the next coming. And, like...
Which, like, not only to be dubbed the next Pele, but a U.S.-based player to be dubbed the next Pele was wild at the time.
Yeah. And he's 35, so he's still young.
I mean, not for a soccer.
No, I mean, he's no, James Milner.
only one.
Yeah. The next Pele, DC United, and then just kind of like jumped around here, there, everywhere. Did play in 2007 for Benfica, the next year in Monaco, and then back to the MLS. He kind of jumped around all these, like, not big clubs at all, and kind of fizzled out after being sold to at least the American soccer fan base. Is like, hey, like this kid, like he's going to be the next big name. And I mean, I brought him up in the first episode as like a joke because
Listen, and no offense, but
none taken.
not to you,
Oh, okay.
but twice a month, his name being thrown out in the end of a very small podcast might be the most action.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. He is now he is officially and currently retired. But yeah, there must have been a lot of potential for him to be a professional soccer player at 14, but never really. I mean, even for the national team, like they haven't done really a whole lot. So he hasn't played a big part in that either. So Freddie Adu should have been magic in a bottle, genie in a bottle, and just never really came to fruition. So that's a big one for me. That was my number one. Like as soon as we came up with the topic, I'm like,
Yeah,
our guy,
that was
Freddie Adu.
I was pretty sure of that one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my first.
All right, so my next one is Anthony Martial. So I remember Martial because he came on. It was against Liverpool, and again, this is where we're talking about his play style. This is the next Thierry Henry, and I mean he played for Manchester United. I had him in my fantasy team every now and again.
Yeah.
He was a goal scorer, but like I don't know if he went to a different team, he would have had a different career path because obviously we know the kind of the flux Manchester United have been in with several coaches and obviously different playing styles. But honestly, like for someone to be dubbed the next Thierry Henry is wild. Like, show us your dick.
I was going to say, like, is he slinging a massive club?
First and foremost, how big is your wiener? Okay, if you want to be...
You show or a grower, prove either one.
Big dick TT. We're going to need to see it. Put it on the glass.
That's a good one.
But yeah, I mean, obviously he had some injuries, the biggest one being the season 2020-2021, where he tore knee ligaments and was out for 126 days. But I mean, he's had a splattering of injuries, so he missed, I don't know, up to 14 games. But now eventually was like out of contract with Manchester United, fell out with pretty much every coach.
Damn.
And yeah, it's one of those things. Like I think my biggest harp was the fact that, again, you putting him in the same class as Thierry Henry, like,
yeah.
I just don't think you can say it right out the gate before they've really established and proven themselves. So he came from Monaco, went to Manchester United, then was on loan at Sevilla, and then now he's at AFK Anthem or
fuck is that?
Sorry, AFK Athens. I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Greece.
So yeah, I mean he's.
Yeah. No, that's a great pick too.
So
I mean, follows Phil's, he could always like try to pass the bar, and then he can open up martial law. I'm sorry, I am on fire right now. That's like the 10th one this episode.
That was pretty good.
I hope someone's keeping track out there. Hopefully, someone's just getting a chuckle and
but I mean,
doesn't want
he
to drive
doesn't-
their car into a fucking bridge and Pankman over what I'm saying.
I mean, I think part of it is I think technically he plays the same position as Kylian Mbappe. So like, that's a tough one from the French national team. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, you could still light up the Premier League, and he just didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my second pick is Anthony Martial.
Yeah. Solid pick. My second, and again, this one was another one that came to mind very quickly. And while has had more success than my first pick, this player, simply known as Willian, was a player that I always thought was going to make it bigger and better than he has thus far. Also, both Freddie Adu and Willian, not big dudes. Like 5'8", $145, if like soaking wet. For Chelsea, he was always kind of dangerous and scrappy and quick and like shifty out there. And then he goes to Arsenal, and it's like, all right, kind of the same, but tapering off. And just, I feel like he had more danger to his game and should have been better and more successful and a bigger player in the Premier League than, in my opinion, he actually was. Like, he could have been more of like a centerpiece to a team versus like kind of a supporting cast.
Well, I think the part of it was the sneaky part of his age, because I think that was the reason why he wasn't re-signed at Chelsea, because I think they still have it, but they don't sign anybody who's over the age of 30. So
He's born 1988,
yeah,
right?
1988. So we're gonna be 40. So he's what,
36 years
37?
old.
Yeah,
That's
he's gonna be
right.
37. So yeah. I mean, he went to Arsenal. That was of absolute fuck. Wait, was it Fulham and then Arsenal, or Arsenal?
No, Arsenal then
Arsenal
Fulham.
then Fulham. So Arsenal was an absolute dumpster fire for him. That was awful. I think he revived it a little bit at Fulham, but yeah, no, I like that one.
He played in Corinthians. He played for, I think he's at Olympiacos right now. I mean, continually and consistently great hair. He's got like the baby Michael afro going up. Bow, bow, bow,
It's
bow, bow,
sweet.
bow. Like, he's got that consistent part to his game. So, there you go. Willian. One name. That's my second pick. And really, my last pick, because I couldn't come up with a strong third. And before you go into yours, which is a much lengthier and stronger list than mine, I was tossing around some names like Alexi Lawless.
Why Alexi Lawless?
I don't know. I feel like he should have.
Is it because he's got fiery red hair?
No, he was like a prominent character in the 1994 World Cup here, and I feel like after that it's just like yeah. And then I was like, all right, on that same note, what about the goalkeeper for that team, Tony Meola, who after playing soccer in the World Cup went to be a place kicker for, I believe, the New York Jets, and like couldn't even fucking do that. So
yeah, I mean, I know that, not to totally sidetrack, but I know Harry Kane has always talked about, like, when he retires, he wants to be a kicker in the NFL. Kicking a football ain't like kicking a football. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Mouth of Marbles, Harry Kane. Fuck, man, we should have done the Bundesliga, because, like, he needs to get it.
oh, he'll get it.
He'll get it. But anyway, my third pick was Jack Wilshere.
Go on.
So Jack Wilshere was basically dazzled as an Arsenal teenager, especially in the 2011 Champions League match against Barcelona, where he outshone midfield legends like Xavi and Iniesta, which is huge. He also shined for England at, like, I think it was just the age of 17, and was dubbed to be the future. It was like basically the future of the England midfield, was the missing component that they needed, that creativity, that movement. And then his body absolutely failed him.
I was going to say, in case you couldn't tell my reaction when you're like, oh, you mentioned a name, like, yeah, go on, because I really don't know who this person is.
So I'm just going to go through his injury list.
Please do.
And how many days he was out, okay?
Okay.
So in the year 2011-2012 season,
Okay.
he had a fatigue fracture.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds awful.
It does sound awful.
So it's like a stress fracture.
That's what I was thinking. At first, I was just like, fatigue. God damn it, you fucking lazy bastard. But yeah,
Drink
so
some more milk.
that kept him out for 104 days. So
Holy shit.
He missed 34 matches between club and country.
Whoa.
Then in 2011-2012, he had knee surgery, potentially for that fracture.
Sure.
Maybe it was just like a lingering thing. That kept him out for 125 days, was out for 33 games for club and country.
Okay.
Okay. From there, he had, in the 2012-2013 season, he had an ankle injury, kept him out for a month. He missed, Jesus Christ, 18 games in that month for club and country. Then an ankle sprain, that was 6 days, not really that big.
Mm-hmm.
Then a hairline crack in the foot, 57 days. Okay, we're in 2014 now. 2014-2015, an ankle injury kept him out 90 days. He missed 22 games for club and country.
Jesus.
Then in that same season, another ankle injury kept him out 36 days. He missed another 9 games for club and country. In the 2015-2016 season, he had a hairline fracture in the fibula. Was out 247 days and missed 55 games for club and country.
Got those soft bones.
Yep. Then he had a knee
Holy
injury,
shit.
was out 11 days, but apparently didn't miss a game there.
Oh, there you go.
Then in 2016-17, hairline fracture in the fibula again. Was out 112 days, but only missed 3 games. 2018-19, another ankle injury, missed 11 games, was out 82 days. Another ankle injury that same season, 138 days out.
And he's getting paid through all this.
Yeah, and then in the 2000 season, groin injury, 221 days. And then lastly, a calf injury, 2020, 2021, 11 days. And I think at that point...
That's 10 years' time of just...
I mean, I didn't do the total days, but...
No, but that's absurd.
We're multiple years. Accumulated multiple years.
Who do you play for?
Arsenal for the most part, and then was like loaned to Bournemouth, and then was finally like in the between 2019 and 21 was sold to West Ham, which again for that he was out. Let's see, 82, 138, 221. Yeah, like he was out at least over 1 year.
Like if he was like a farm animal, like you'd be like, he's mine, and you just take him up back and put a fucking bullet in the skull.
Yeah.
That's awful.
To go the way of Old Yeller.
Oh, he's my dog, Dad.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No wonder I haven't heard from him because he didn't play a lot.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see because obviously, I mean, I love Daniel Sturridge, but man, he was made of glass. So I'd be interested to like kind of compare injury records. But yeah, it was pretty aggressive.
Wow, that is lengthy.
So yeah.
Well, seeing that my list is done, who else you got?
So I'll go honorable mention real quick. I'm gonna fire off a few. One, I have Joao Felix because again, this is one that purely because was dubbed the next Ronaldo and was sold from Benfica to Atletico Madrid for 126 million pounds. And since again, he's still in the league, but he didn't really. If you're gonna compare to Ronaldo, didn't really blow up the scene like Ronaldo did. Was fine for Atletico. Then I think went to Barcelona. Then back to Atletico. Now he's at Chelsea, and again, Chelsea have 42 starters. So like,
He's still a young kid, though, right?
he is. I mean, there's a chance, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, but all the hype.
I mean, it's just for what the tagline, the tag you put against that name. If you put Ronaldo in that conversation, I'm expecting you to absolutely set the world alight.
Yeah.
And
Or be
for
outrageously
126 million, again, whether you say it's like the weight of the price tag, he's not done what nearly.
No.
Mario Balotelli was on there as well because like you watch this dude and he had strength, he had size, he had speed, he had a killer foot.
Yeah.
He just literally had no goddamn work ethic.
No,
it
he
was
did
an
not.
absolute madman.
Yeah.
Like some of his highlight clips of just
imagine
like
giving all that talent. And you're just like,
I think it was a friendly against either like MLS All-Stars, but the game where he's like going in on goal and then decides to do like a 360 pirouette or like 180 and like back heels it out of bounds and then immediately gets subbed out. Like that like summed up his career.
Yeah.
So he was just like one that just erupted. Like you were just like, holy shit, this guy is going to be something. And then, I think if he like had
It's a good pick, too.
and then my last, and this was more of a personal thing, Loris Karius. I think we were in that kind of Simon Mignolet. I loved his song, but Karius comes in, plays the entire season, was phenomenal, and then obviously has an absolute howler of a Champions League final, and then mentally I think collapsed, and the pressure was too much. I think he's admitted to it, and is now a DJ.
It's also like jacked.
Yes.
He got huge.
Yeah. So.
Do you remember for like a while there he was like kind of hanging around?
Yeah, I mean,
Melwood?
Well, he
was the old one.
Hmm?
Melwood was the old training facility, right?
Yeah, so I mean, he came back the next season, and then there was I remember it was a preseason game where he let in just these absolute softies,
Yeah.
and like one of the guys from the other team was a diehard Liverpool fan, and just like cussed him out in his face.
Yeah.
And then deteriorated from there, and then
Jeez.
obviously shortly after we got Allison, so that was
Yeah.
it for him. But yeah, I think that was more of like, I don't think anyone would be like, oh, like, yeah, Karius erupted and was like the best goalie. But for us, like, he was an amazing shot stopper compared to what we had with Mignolet.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm so happy we have Allison now, but like that at the time was like, it was a big blow.
Yeah. It's
So,
another
yeah.
great pick.
So those are my picks.
Solid picks
Our
all around.
picks, you know, it's all collective. It's all a big orgy of thought processes and whatnot. So we're in it together, ins and outs.
Love it.
You know,
Just-
fists everywhere. So before we switch, let's circle back to the wine real quick. Any new thoughts? Any new?
I think I'm probably gonna go swing by and see if they have another bottle just to keep at the house.
That's where we're at. I like
Yeah,
that.
no, I for someone who doesn't drink white wine, this is really scratching an itch for me.
Literally, we were just talking about it. You
Yeah.
know, like we'd drink more if we had found one.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still gonna lean towards red wine anyway for the antioxidants
Sure.
because
yeah.
white wine is a lot of empty calories. But like I could see this being integrated into like my cooking and pairing it with the right types of food.
Cool.
So this is looking to be a pretty good score. Big market tease.
Big marketees. All right. So now that we've wrapped that up, it is time for our Una cara que necesita un puñetazo. And this week we have Sevilla.
Sevilla.
And before we get into our picks, again, circling back to our main man Juan, who's back in action to write about his most punchable face.
Yeah, Juan.
So Juan says, I'm back. Hey, fellas, was looking over the roster, and I think the most punchable face is going to be Gonzalo Montreal because he was. Oh, anyway, this is probably, as we're talking about Big Salt,
Big
this
Salt.
is probably a big salty wound for
okay.
for Juan
All
here,
right.
is because he was on Argentina when they beat Colombia in the Copa America. But a close second is Piqué, just because he looks goofy. Also kind of weird if you press on his player card in the Sevilla website. It's for his birthplace. It says the hospital. So he says, "Keep up the awesome work,
There you
guys!" Exclamation point. Well, thank you, Juan. Appreciate the write-in.
Oh man,
Solid picks
good to
all
hear
around.
from him.
Yeah.
What a guy.
And Rye, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So
All right. So upon arriving tonight and going through our very quick pre-recording kind of highlights and happenings, I was still undecided because I again kind of shrugged in my responsibilities for this episode. But I was like, all right, I gotta whittle this down, and I'm going down. I'm like, wait, this motherfucker's on Sevilla now?
well, first of all, you had your pick, and then you had like a kind of aha moment, being like, "This kind of looks familiar," and I
Yeah.
was like, literally, like just nodding, being like, "Is it Barco?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we find ourselves, and we'll circle back to Barco
Sure.
in a moment.
Yeah.
I had one upon research where I'd like you to post this picture when you post the episode, and that is of, hold on, this is a mouthful, of Jesus Joaquin Fernandez Sáenz del Torre, also known as Suso. Because his FIFA player card, which I will take a picture of and send to you, looks as if he might have the IQ of a pancake, because it's just one name, and it's just like, hey, we're gonna take your picture now, like, make sure you smile for the camera. It's just like, Suso. Do you find a picture?
No, I just
No,
I
but
just
he's got like dead eyes.
Yeah, like there's. This looks like he doesn't understand the assignment and just got lucky that he was just like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, no, he is the physical embodiment of never trust a fart. That's what Suso is, and he's their number 10. So there you go. But really, let's save the animosity for our true pick, which of course is Mike. Valentin Barco, jugador de Sevilla FC.
Well, that's
I gave you the whole thing.
yeah,
but
that's
yeah.
of yeah.
Valentin Barco. Aye!
He again, I think there's some. He just reminds me of like a shithead kid, and just happens that he's a ginger shithead kid. So I think it just reminds me of me as a shithead kid. But like I said, when I knew as soon as you like had that like, wait a second, I was like,
Yeah.
we've got the same pick. Because really, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This one was clear cut. I could have gone with other players.
You
but,
could have.
but no, he's the first. He's the first repeat offender for the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Barco is definitely the
He's only 20 years old, but he looks like he's 10, and he looks like he is a professional pickpocketer.
it's just
Like his eyes and his whole demeanor is just like he's gonna swindle you out of like coin.
he just looks like a dude who's gonna like light dog shit on your doorstep.
Yeah.
And then when you put it out with your good boots,
God
he's
damn!
gonna
It's
be-
a bag of shit, Margaret.
called a shit poop. So again, it's just like he's just kind of just got like maybe if he might have an immaculate smile. I don't know.
He probably
Never
does.
seen it. I don't care. That face alone and his big bushy red eyebrows is why he's gonna get it right in the cabeza.
Red on red crime. I can't believe it.
That's fine. Hey, I don't discriminate. So there we go.
Man.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, formerly of Brighton.
Yep.
Young Valentin Barco.
All right. Well, now that
20
we've
years old, going on 11.
yeah, now that we've wrapped that up, it is time to give our closing thoughts on the wine and a score, and then we will talk about the wine we'll be drinking next episode as well as the topic. Also, the next team we will be doing from La Liga is going to be none other than, drum roll please. Drum roll please. Girona.
Girona?
Girona.
Not yours,
My
but my.
my Girona.
Girona.
Girona. All right. So we got that down. It was just fresh in my head because obviously Liverpool just played them.
True.
So they're going to be our team. But let's give our final thoughts on the wine, and then we'll talk about the topic and wine for next episode. So I think it's great. I think it's probably one of the most enjoyable white wines I have had. Still not a white wine guy.
And that's fine.
I think I would still, if I was going to go on the lighter side, something chilled, I think I would still go that rosé over.
Okay.
But
all right.
I
think we were at least mid-8s, I think, for the rosé.
it's not possible that I gave an 8 for that.
I was definitely in the 8s.
I mean, that's quite possible. Okay, you were 8-1. I was a 7-9. So,
Okay, all right.
So I think so. Then I had my number. I wanted to double check. So yeah, I don't think I enjoy it more than the rosé.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this a 7-7. I think it's a solid white. I think it's great in the summertime. I like the difference, the little, the peach, the salt, the green apple, those little elements that I think you get are why this is where it's at.
Okay.
So yeah.
As a man of the sea, I was very excited going into this. I feel like we were sold a bill of goods, and I feel like that bill of goods, bag of goods, delivered.
Bill of
Yeah.
goods. Yeah.
I really like it. I love like the minerality, the salinity, the little effervescence. Like I said, I'll probably swing in and see if they have this week because I could see myself incorporating this in with my cooking. And my wife, my tall, beautiful wife.
I thought so. As that in my mind said, you can incorporate it in your cooking and then in your wife.
In
And I was like-
the boudoir.
I was like, where?
It's you
Anyway.
drink it out of the belly button.
But we digress.
Alas, it's like what is it? Hot Shots when he pops the olive out of her belly button. Anyway, she might actually like this too, and she's like me, strictly red wine. But I feel like this would go over well. I've mentioned before, there is one Cape Cod place that I love seafood, Setswood Harbor, raw bar and grill, right on the water. You can bet your bottom dollar, Orphan Annie, I'll probably bring either that rosé or this white wine next year. When I go, slamming oysters, French fries, tartar sauce. I'm going 8-6 on this. I really like it. I really do. I'm picking it, I'm sticking it, and I'm drinking it.
All right, Ryan. Why don't you tell the folks what we're going to be drinking today? Or not today, next episode.
So next episode, we are going to be drinking the Bootleg Wines Prequel, which is a 2019 red blend.
Beautiful. And the reason we're drinking this is because it's a red blend. We're really going thin on this one. It's got some green in it. Red and green are the Christmas colors. So as we are in the throes of the Christmas season, our topic for next is going to be in a kind of an amalgam of some Christmas traditions. One is, Santa's wish list. What do we want for Santa? And we're also going to kind of take in the traditions of A Christmas Carol.
Yes.
So here
I'm only doing Muppets Christmas Carol.
You know what? It doesn't matter because it's all. So essentially,
I'm going to be Rizzo the Rat.
So essentially, we're going to kind of do same format. We're going to pick 3 players. So this is our Santa's wish list of players that we want to play for Liverpool.
Yes.
And the way that we incorporate is we're going to take the 4 ghosts. So 3. So past, present, and future. So a player from the past.
That's 3.
You would want it to. Well, we got to figure out our Jacob Marley.
Oh, okay.
Basically, maybe that troublesome player.
Yes. Okay.
So
all right.
We're gonna pick our 3 are gonna be a past player that we wanted to play for Liverpool, a present player that we want to play for Liverpool, and potentially a future one, maybe one that's a young talent that we're really excited about for the future. And then
just like Freddie Adu was.
Yeah. Right.
Can we, for the past, bring back a player that had played for Liverpool?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want.
All right. I mean, you always tell me the parameters, and I usually don't listen.
Forget. Yeah, it's fine. Listening's not your strong suit.
No.
And then the Jacob Marley is going to be that troubled soul that we would want to play. So that's
all right.
All right.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay, I already got some things churning.
I hope
and
so.
burning.
I
not
hope so,
concerning
because it better be better than this episode's list.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everybody has a stinker every once in a while. All right. Well,
I wish I could.
It's that time once again, and we would love to keep going. We would love to drink more of this delicious white wine, but after VAR review, we just can't because I'm actually burping fire.
Yeah, no, I'm actually concerned about your internal health right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thought I was the one in rough shape, but you're not doing great.
It spells. But anyway, so after VAR review, we're just gonna put the cork in this bottle.
Sure are.
And say, listen to us next time on another exciting episode of Vino Volley. So Ryan, please do us the honors of taking us home.
Folks, remember always sip and soccer responsibly. We bid you a Freddie adieu.